everyone, Michelle McCarthy here from Homeschooling in the Pines. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am participating in a collaboration with April from The Simple Rugged Path and Ingrid from Mommy and Mia Homeschool Chronicles, in where we are going to be talking about some homeschooling myths and how we burst them. Okay, and we have just a series of questions that we're going to answer, or questions that some people encounter as being homeschooled, how we will answer the questions and how we have answered them to kind of burst those myths, because people have all these myths about homeschooling. How can we talk about people about these myths and how can we burst them? Okay, luckily I haven't encountered a lot of these questions, or people talk about some of these myths, but I know exactly how to answer them if I ever encounter them. Okay, so before I get started, make sure you check Ingrid's and April's channel, and please, if you will love, I would love for you to subscribe to their channels. They're amazing homeschooling mamas. I love to homeschool. They have recipes and just life in general. So if you want to get to know and learn from other homeschool moms, make sure you check their channels, and make sure you check that playlist below after you're done watching my video, so you can see how everyone bursts those homeschooling myths. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the myths and how I will burst them if I ever encounter them, or how I have if some people have asked me about a couple of them. Okay, so the first one is, what about socialization? There is a myth going around that kids that are homeschooled are not socialized, that they don't know how to socialize in the real world. But let me burst that myth really quick. My daughter, she is in 6th grade now. She went to school till 3rd grade. She's more socialized now than when she was in public school. Public school kids are not socialized in a normal environment. When you leave school, are you gonna be with kids or people the same age as you are? Okay, and where you have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom and do exactly what your teacher tells you to do? No. So homeschool kids are socialized in a normal environment. They are out in the world. They socialize with kids that are younger, kids that are older, kids that are their same age. They socialize with the parents of their friends. They socialize when we go to the doctor's office, when we take a field trip, when we go out to lunch on a Wednesday, when we go to the library. So they socialize so much more than a kid that is in public school. Because now that I have been homeschooling for 3 years, I realized that being in school is not normal socialization. Okay, so that is a big myth. If you are, unless you never leave your house ever, you will be more like we're always doing field trips and hanging out with our friends, because we have more time to do things like that, and we have more time to be kids and enjoy ourselves in the real world. Okay, and I could keep talking about this one forever, but I'm going to stop right now. Some people will say a myth that I don't have the patience to homeschool. Do you have to be patient to homeschool? No, you don't. I'm patient sometimes, but sometimes I think more times I'm not patient, that I lose my cool just like everybody else. We have some hard days, and some days are hard. Some days I question, oh, why am I doing this? This is so hard. But then I think about all this time that I'm spending with my children. I think about all the values and all the morals that are learning for being at home, all the things that they don't get exposed to at school. Even if I'm not patient, even if some days are hard, even if I want to run away, because I do, I wouldn't change it for the world, because I have my kids with me all day, where they are with each other all day. They're going to leave one day. They're going to go to college. They're going to get married. Who knows? They might move to the other side of the world. I have them for this time. I have them with me. And some days are hard, but but all the good days and the good experiences and just being with them just takes over that, not having the patience. Okay. Another, we can't afford to homeschool. That's another myth. When homeschooling could be as affordable as you want it to be, or as expensive as you want it to be. There are so many curriculums for every budget. Okay, some things are really, really expensive. You can homeschool for free if you wanted to. You could do that. I don't know how to tell you how to do that, because I don't homeschool for free, and I do spend more money than I need to sometimes on homeschooling. But you're able to. You're able to homeschool for free or very affordable just by having a library card and the internet. Okay, so that's a myth. you don't need a lot of money to homeschool. If you are able to stay home and you are able to homeschool your kids. Okay. Another myth is like, you're not qualified to teach your kids. I am. I do have a teaching degree. I do have a master's degree in education, but I don't need those to teach my kids. Sometimes I wish I didn't have those degrees. Why? Because having been taught how to teach children in the public school and private school, I had that mentality of public school, or how to teach kids in the classroom. So I thought I had to do that at home, but I don't. And I have liberated myself from that now, and I don't teach the way school teach. That's why I homeschool, right? So, but anyway, no, you don't have to have a teaching degree to teach your children. I don't know if in some states you do, but not where I live. You don't have to have a teaching degree. You don't even have to have a college degree. As long as you have a high school diploma, you're able to teach your children. And what's more important than having the love for your children? You love your kids, that qualifies you to teach your children. That's the most important thing. And willing to learn, willing to go above and beyond for them. You got it, okay? Next one is, do you homeschool in your PJs? To tell the truth, we do. This is a myth that I might be a little bit true for our home, because my daughter likes to be in her PJs, and we homeschool mostly her in her PJs all day, and I'm okay with that. So maybe that's a myth that in this home might be true. I don't. Sometimes I do spend the day on my PJs, but it's usually on a Friday or when it's snowy and I just don't want to, put some normal clothes on. Okay. Don't you think by homeschooling you are keeping your child from learning how to handle life, how to interact with that diverse group of people? No, because my kid is in the real world, okay? And I feel that they are learning how to deal with things in the real world. And also, I think by me being with them all day, I am able to help them deal with those things. Maybe when they're in the public school, they don't have their parents there to guide them through making the right decisions and, being around all the things that's in the public school. So, yeah. When in public, why aren't some people ask you, where are your kids in school today? I have been encountered with that one time, and we weren't even in our town. We were in another town in our state. We were on a trip with my husband, but I said, because we homeschool, and if people don't have the right to ask you those questions, but you have to leave it at that. That's none of their business, okay? And I hate to say that, but it's not. So somebody asks you that, you say, because we're homeschool. You don't have to tell them why you homeschool, okay? That is not of their, and like I said, I don't want to be mean or anything, but it's not of their business, okay? So I'm gonna see another one. Homeschooling parents are just stay-at-home moms that don't work. That's not true. I'll know some moms that homeschool their kids, work full-time or part-time. You're able to do it, okay? So that's not a myth that just moms that stay home, they homeschool because they don't work. That is just a really big myth. Homeschooled students are not prepared for college. I think that's also a myth. Okay, we are not there yet, but I know a couple of homeschoolers that are in college already, and they are doing amazing. They were homeschooled their whole lives, and they're smart. They got scholarships, and they probably more prepared than some of the other kids that I have known that have been in public school. Okay. You will find kids in public school that are prepared for college. Some of them are not prepared for college, depending, how you handle school, the kind of teachers that you had. And I'm sure some homeschooling kids, some will be prepared for college and some might not. It all depends on the way the kids learn. Not everybody's made for college. So, but I believe that if you want to go to college, you can prepare your kids to go to college just like everybody else, okay? How about when people hear you're homeschooling and they start to quiz your children? Thank God I haven't approached that before, because, that thing that is just plain rude. But to tell the truth, I don't know what I will do when people started quizzing my children. Maybe I should start quizzing their children because they're in public school. I don't know. But yeah, I think if you are, watching this video, no, don't do that. Don't go, and if you meet somebody, just don't start quizzing them on things, because they might know and they might not. You know, a lot of kids in public school, they don't know the presidents, they don't know their multiplication tables. So just don't. That's something that you shouldn't do. And I haven't encountered it, and I don't know how I will handle that. But you shouldn't do it. Okay. So these are just some of the questions. Like I said, I've been lucky. I haven't encountered a lot of them. But this is how we'll answer it and how we'll talk about the topic. My favorite one is socialization. I could do a whole video on that. But I didn't want to get too deep into it. So yes, so these are my questions on how we'll burst those homeschooling myths. Make sure you check that playlist below and see everyone's video. And again, make sure you check Ingrid's and April's channel that's hosting this collaboration. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. If you are thinking about homeschooling and you're worried about these things, don't worry about them. They're myths, except the PJ one. I do homeschooling my PJs. So for us, for some people it might not be a myth, but for us, it's not a myth. We homeschool in our PJs a lot of the time, and that's okay. Okay? So again, my name is Michelle McCarthy from Homeschooling in the Pines. I will see you all soon.